If somebody is here to talk about our traditions, then I'm not a student. Okay, I'm a teacher in that space. And if they don't even have the grace of acknowledging their studentship and the fact that they're to learn something from me about something I've studied for many decades, then they don't deserve they don't have the adhikar, they don't deserve the courtesy. And that's how we should engage in every single conversation.
Okay.
Understand the environmental context.
There's no conversation.
These
are just rants on Twitter. And if you don't counter these rants, then sooner or later I've noticed that they become mainstream brainwashing propaganda. And so we counter it by mocking them.
So this brings us back to the BBC.
Correct.
Okay. So when I observed that the BBC was actually, one, an active regime change agent, two, not a good faith news broadcaster, and thirdly, an agent of chaos, that is not a good thing. We had to decide what our role was in engaging with this problem. And so we came to the conclusion that a good output would be for the BBC to be known in its true form far and wide. And that would diminish their capacity to create chaos and seed hatred. But the second thing is, because they are not a good faith actor in this country,
Correct.
they have no right to be here.
Yes.
Their adhikar is based on that colonizer.
So you're suggesting
arrogance.
that the BBC should be banned?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I would suggest that we need to bring them in front of a court of law in Bharat under charges of sedition and regime change and interference in the internal affairs of state of a democratic nation.
Correct.
And they should be required to answer in an Indian court of law.
They should.
And once that's done, it will set a precedent, and the outcome of it would actually be good for them and good for us. We move them from being Kam Earth people to considering actually there's a harmonious way for us to live together and do good work together in the world.
You know, somehow I've noticed that the minute the news agencies are put under law, like Putin has done in Russia, they start to behave themselves.
Yeah.
They stop being regime change operators and they start serving truth to the people. Because now it's all agenda-driven drivel.
Well, there's only one way to deal with a bully.
Yeah.
And I think as a Hindu civilization, we need to accept that we have been culpable in our own misery by allowing bullies free rein to run amok.